There we go. Hello, hello. It is the Side Quest, your weekly journey into the wild, wonderful, wacky world of video games, the video game culture, and the nerds who appreciate all of that. I'm one of those nerds, Dolly Dimofsky. Joining me as usual, the one, the only, the double J, JJ
Ooh,
Older.
yeah.
Oh, who's in the dark? You're
Oh,
coming in like a wrestler.
yeah, yeah. Adjusting some, yeah.
You're
It's a
showing up
new
like the
setup.
Young Bucks.
I've changed things. It's
Wow, look at
trying to
that.
figure things out.
Ooh, and
So
you got your special glasses on too.
I do got my special glasses
All
on.
right, are
My
these the PAX branded ones?
my PAX branded
Nice,
gamer glasses.
nice. I should put my
Got
gamer glasses on. They're way over there though. Hey JJ, oh, let me get this real
hell
quick.
yeah! Hey Dally.
Hey, happy birthday to SideQuesting.
Hey, it's festive.
16 years old. What? Old enough to drive in some states.
I don't. I want to. Yeah. I want to trust this website with a license.
Yeah, for sure. Oh goodness. It is. Yeah, it's craziness. 16 years. But that's good. Why not? Why not? Let's keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Um,
Got to at least make
uh,
it 20, right?
yeah, at least we just gotta outlast enough of the other gaming sites that are out there.
Yeah.
All the ones that we took,
Yeah.
what do they call that? All the ones that inspired us, we've
Yeah.
outlasted. So that's good.
We got to outlive like Kotaku. I think that's the big
Is it
one.
still around? I don't even
I
know.
mean, it's on live
Yeah.
support. It's not
Give me a second. I gotta grab a piece of paper. Give me a second.
Oh.
So I can scribble notes. Keep talking.
paper.
Man.
Ooh, look at Mr. Fancy Pants with his parchments. thinks he's better than me with his paper.
Me prepared never. All right. I just had to get a sticky pad from around the corner here. Yeah, we'll outlive everybody. A lot of folks were asking in the Discord, and I had folks skeet at me. Sounds horrible to say it that way, but
Yeah,
you
can just say post. I
a
mean,
lot of
that's
people posted. Yeah, it just sounds too formal. Anywho, we were talking about side questing, and I had to note. Yeah, hey, side questing started because I wanted to go to E3. Plain and simple. E3, I had always wanted to go. This is back when E3 was a big thing in 2009. And I had actually I had owned the domain of a website called Go Gaming Giant. And I thought that was just the coolest name, Go Gaming Giant, G3. And I did it that way because G4 was popular on TV. I'm like, what if I made
one
this
less
G?
good than G.
Yeah, one less good than G3, one less G. And so I'm like, let's call it G3, Go Gaming Giant. It seemed kind of fun. And then I started it with another person, ended up not really liking it. Got kind of too serious too quick for me. I'm like, well, I don't want to do like, actual gaming journalism. I just want to have fun. So got rid of Go Gaming Giant, left amicably. And I'm like, I want to start something that's just a little bit more loose, but I definitely want to get into E3. Yes, always late. Come on. But I definitely want to get into E3. So how can I get into E3? So that's when I started side questing, and E3 required a business, like a tax ID. So I ran out and got a tax ID. I did it all within like a weekend, and it needed you needed to show that you were going to report on stuff. So yeah, started up side questing with Yaniv Perezslavsky. Hey Yaniv, he was on our show a few years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Spent a lot of time with Yaniv at PAX West.
Yaniv, great dude. He's living it up right now. He was all around Europe. He's got this really cool like furniture Instagram feed that he started because he makes furniture and a bunch of other stuff. Man, that guy went from skinning people and wearing that skin to creating really cool furniture. It kind of works out well when you think about it. And so yeah, I created side questing, and that was enough to get me into E3. Like they're like, okay, you got like 4 posts up, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And that was it. Got into E3 and got to E3 and thought, I was just gonna have fun there. It was gonna be one and done, but I got a review copy out of it for what was it? I listed it out the other day.
Mad World?
No, Mad World
Oh.
was my own. Oh, Let's Tap.
Let's Tap. That's
Because
right.
I stopped by the Sega booth and I was talking about, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to, or I mentioned something about, the Wii had just kind of taken over, right? 2006 the Wii launched, but by 2009 it was the big thing.
Everyone was trying to figure out like how like, okay, waggle controls, like what weird thing can we market with that concept?
Exactly.
So
I went into every booth at E3 that year, every major publisher, is back when they were separate publishers, had like their major stuff. Like this was back when people were spending millions of dollars on booths. They had their major stuff on the show floor, and then a lot of these places would have like either lower levels that they had kind of created, or a secondary level, or a little section off to the side that you would go in, and it would be like the Wii stuff.
Yeah.
And
the stuff that they would take to PAX.
Yeah. And it was almost always like, I remember Bethesda had a Wii, like a Wii game, but it was more or less like one of those but like those fun house style games where you just had like a collection of mini games. Every single publisher did that. And Sega had this.
What was it? The Carnival Games is still around to this day.
Yes. Yeah. And it was, I think, exactly. Yeah. I don't even know who makes Carnival Games. Who knows? Probably Ubisoft, for all I know. And then I got to talking to the folks at the Sega booth, one of the PR people there, and they're like, "Hey, we'll put you on the PR list." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, no problem." Well, they ended up sending me Let's Tap like soon after that, and I thought, "Crap, I guess I have to review this." So I reviewed it, and as I was sending that back, I got another review. And then I got another review, and then I got another review. So, and we just didn't stop since then. Just kept reviewing, and got to know a lot of people, and it was good. And that's how SideQuesting started.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yuji Naka's Let's Tap.
Yuji Naka's famed designer Yuji Naka. You might know Yuji Naka from what was it? The hat game. I'm trying to be very political about it.
Yeah, famous for definitely just Sonic the Hedgehog, Balan Wonderworld.
Balan Wonderworld. Totally not like
Rangers, Phantasy Star Online, and nothing else.
Nothing else at all. Yeah, it was an interesting game because it worked. Like you got a box, and it was like an old PC game box, right? Cardboard box. And you put the Wii like I think it was like a little cutout area in that box, and you just tap on the box, and it worked. You can also put the Wii on the table and do it just on the Wii remote on the table and do that way, and that worked too. Like you have it upside down. It was just really wild the different things they pulled off.
Owners of Let's Tap were able to unlock content in Let's Catch.
Yes, I never got Let's Catch, unfortunately.
And then the game was later re-released as 5 individual applications for iOS.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I believe that.
Yeah, that seems like that would have been the 2009. Yeah. That was the weird iOS game era.
It really was.
Let's see what. Well, you know what? Looking at it, Metacritic 70 out of 100.
For Let's Tap.
Yeah.
Perfect. See, it was because of us. I don't even know if we gave review scores back then, but it probably would have been a 7 out of 10. I think if you read my review, it's good enough. Yeah, so I've started reposting some of the original content that we had on the site, and Ryan Gann, also one of the quote unquote co-founders, basically because he was bored, wrote up a Star Ocean retrospective that the first few weeks. So I had
for
that
the longest time, like his Portal post was like the #1 post on.
It really was. Like I remember we had like, I mean, back in the day, getting like 12, 13, 14,000 views in a day of an article was huge for any publication, right? And that was when you get that in one day. That was before they were sharing. Like sharing back then was you had to send it to someone or you had to Google, and that was basically because there wasn't like really Twitter wasn't popping. And
what was that? What was the aggregator people used to submit everything to? Dig, yeah.
Dig.
Yeah.
We may have had it on Dig. I met those guys.
Was like,
Dig Nation guys.
was at its bare bones. Like it was really like you would just post something to the JPEG, and then that
basically,
was
yeah. It really was the viral aspect of it back then. Was I have to share this with people. Yeah. You actively spread misinformation instead of just seeing it algorithmically land in your feed. So
that post from Gan was really good though.
It was. And I still
the physics behind Portal, like the metaphysics behind Portal, like it's a good post.
It's such a good post that recently as like a year or two ago, someone contacted us and said, "Hey, we're doing a documentary about portals and like actual portals and building teleportals. We'd love to use the images in this documentary and credit you guys. Is that okay?" And I'm like, Ryan are like, "Yeah, I don't care." So I replied back to them. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." I never found out if they actually made this documentary or not. They never got back to me about it, but our Portal to Physics
documentaries tend to fall into pun intended weird rabbit holes.
Yeah. But it was hey, whatever. It was a good enough article where it could have appeared in an actual Portal physics documentary. I'm a little tired because boy, are my arms tired from prepping.
I was gonna say, nice to meet you, little tired. I'm Dad.
I like that. But yeah, it has been a week. God, where is Sam? He said definitely 9 o'clock. We need to ping him. What a jerk. But it's been a week. We talked about the Switch 2 last week, and a bunch of stuff has come out. Before we get into that, I just want to remind everyone, go to SideQuesting.com, hop into the Discord, join the Discord, do the Patreon thing if you can. Follow us at SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch, and then follow us on Blue Sky, and tell your friends and family, click like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I have something. Seeing as it is our birthday, I got a donut. I got a vanilla cream donut, and it's from Tim Hortons, which is a Canadian coffee place, coffee and bakery. So
I think with sharing a border with Canada like we do,
so nice.
We would have a Tim Hortons anyway.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
No, we don't even have Dunkin'.
No, oh wow, you got nothing other. You just got Starbucks. Well, that's probably why you got Starbucks. Yeah. So I'm going to put a candle in this.
Yeah, I got some.
It is a vanilla cream.
Got some homemade cookies.
No, oh, and you didn't send that to me. My goodness. And I'm going to light my house on fire. Nah, just kidding. There we go. Check this beautiful thing out. It is a donut with a candle. How lovely. And it's
St. Patrick's Day themed donut in the middle of April.
I think it's what's left over from St. Patrick's Day from like a month ago. I would not be surprised. They have their Easter stuff out, but the Easter stuff is pink. So, all right. To 16 more and no more than that.
And if it goes more than another 16, I am unaliving everything.
I'm going to end. It's funny because, so here's the second funny part about SideQuesting is that when it got to, after we got kind of far enough along, after about 5 years, I thought, I'm kind of done with this thing. Because we kind of became a minor league system for writers everywhere. Like it was all his friends, like just writing for the heck of it, right?
Yeah.
And really, it's all SideQuesting is just a bunch of us know each other from the Joystick podcast group and in real life, and just friends of friends. And now we're meeting people through Discord, and it really are just a community. And enough of us were writing and practicing writing through SideQuesting that it built up portfolios for people, and people actually went on to get legitimate jobs in writing in the industry, which is just so cool. I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, you still have Grub out there just telling people go to.
Yep.
Here's Dally's email.
yeah. I get emails all the time. It's okay. Keep sending emails to me. I forget to reply back sometimes, and that's totally on me. It's not It's not about your quality. It's me being a jerk and forgetting because I'm old.
I will leave people I care
again.
about significantly on red for like a week. Not on purpose. It's just like I read it. I registered it. I just at that time I just like I don't know what to say and then come back.
That's exactly what I'll say. Okay, I'm gonna get I'll get back to them. Let me put a good response together, and then something initially comes up, and then I completely forget about it, and then like 3 weeks later, I'm like, oh crap, let me really respond back to it, and then like 4 months later, I might actually respond back.
Yeah, a lot of like draft emails with like 3 words typed in it.
Yeah. That's my account right now too. But thank you to Jeff because we've had folks come our way through Jeff all the time. And in fact, I think Zach came through Jeff. Yeah. We've had a lot of folks become professional.
He's not in the video game industry at all.
Exactly.
Well, not entirely true.
Not entirely true. He's doing enough. So we've had folks get into writing, into major sites. We've had developers come out. We've had like a Game of the Year winning PR folks have written for SideQuesting, and that's which is pretty awesome. So
we sat and watched the Game Awards and have seen people on stage.
Yes, it's like they were with SideQuesting. They wrote for us. They were on several podcasts. This. It's pretty cool. It is awesome to see our little site continues to survive, and it's only because we don't make any money off of it. We just do it because we want to do it, and if we do it, great. If we don't, it doesn't matter. It's no hair off our back.
Look, it's when there's no fiduciary responsibility to anybody, you're not tethered to the standard BS that a lot of the other stuff have. So it's just
100% true. Which I should go to the Patreon and subscribe to SideQuesting Patreon because we need to cover these bills because we broke because tariffs right now. I've been watching a lot of British like BBC and they're pronouncing it tariffs, and so that's where I got tariffs from. So I was like, where did I get tariffs from? It's like, oh, the folks in
the tariffs on your Jaguar.
It might be TARDIS as well. Oh my goodness. It's Sam.
Oh, with a new cat.
Ooh, hello. Cat. Things might be broken. I might not be here yet. Ignore me.
You're a black cat. No wonder. Oh, goodness. But I did want to mention the couple little bits of news. Obviously, we're going to be at PAX East. We'll be on the schedule soon. They kind of take their sweet time rolling out the schedule, but we'll be, I think it's 3 or 3:30 on that in the Bumblebee Theater on that Thursday of PAX, May 8th. And then that night, you'll find us, the full details will go up soon, but you'll find us at Howl at the Moon for our 4th year in a row for our party, just insanity, for the SideQuest. Which is that's I'm just gonna call our party the SideQuest because we were trying to come up with like witty names and we had all these like really timely names, but everything kept feeling like too political and too heated, too polycharged. Even though there wasn't like you can't goof on NFTs anymore. We already did the AI thing.
Dally didn't like Pax Tua.
So. Yeah, I didn't like Pax Tua. So I'm like, let's just call it the SideQuest.
Party on that thing.
Yeah, party on that thing. It's just horrible. Just horrific. Like
that's why it's great.
It's great because it's a meme that has already passed like a year plus ago, 2 years ago. It's so late. It's perfect. But
you could be in prison any day now.
Yes, that's true. But that's where we are. So that'll be May 8th. And guess what? It's free. And there will be free food, which is always a good thing. The band is fantastic. They're going to be playing again. We packed it last year. Like, I think I joke, but every year they contact us to host our party there. And they did it again this year and said, hey, the May availability for you is ready to go. So I'm like, cool, let's rock and roll. So yes, we will be at Howl at the Moon yet again, May 8th, our 4th annual PAX East party. You'll find us there. JJ did not go last year.
No, I did go. I left extremely early because I was sick. I threw up in the dungeon bathroom.
That's right. Which one? You didn't go to one of them.
I didn't go to like
The
some of the
second one?
event parties. I've
Oh,
been to
okay.
all of the Howl at the Moon.
Okay. Okay.
No,
All
wait.
right.
You know what? Maybe I
No,
did.
you
No, I
missed
didn't
one.
go to the second one because I was suffering from severe
Correct.
jet lag because it was
Yes, that's what it was. The first one you went to with the whole
Yeah.
Brenda incident, JJ
Yeah.
was just a master. The second one you didn't go to, which was PAX GPT. The
Yeah.
third one, the first one was PAX to the Moon.
PAX to the Moon. Yeah.
That was our NFT fun party.
Yeah,
The second
and we
one
did
was PAX
PAX
GPT. Then it
Yeah.
was the quadruple A experience.
Jubilee experience. That was, I think
last
that was
year.
the peak. That's why we couldn't.
Yeah, that was we can't top it anymore. And so
Yeah.
now we're just gonna call it the side quest. So that info will go out.
It especially was good that like Skull and Bones failed so spectacularly that it made quadruple A title for that thing.
Yep.
Just that much funnier.
Completely
enjoy a bucket with JJ and I.
Yeah.
That was fun actually. The bucket was pretty good.
Yeah, I got the bucket.
Dude, those buckets are good. I mean, they have for those who haven't been, just flavored bucket drinks that you can get in mass quantities.
Yep.
When we say bucket, it's a little like beach children's like
it's like
bucket.
a souvenir plastic bucket you can take home, and you look silly drinking it, but like you'll enjoy it.
No, it almost killed me. I hadn't been eating well either, so because it was like day one of the whole thing. I'm jet lagged from my West Coast trip. I'm exhausted. I haven't eaten a full meal, and I'm just down in this bucket.
Well, and the plan for dinner is the like chicken tendies and the rest of the appetizers that get set out for the party.
The jalapeno poppers or whatever, dude, or mac and cheese bites. Donuts.
Oh yeah. Well, they had them both.
Yeah. I was going to say, which are very good, both of them at said party. Let's not downspeak those appetizers, but not exactly the best thing to eat after an entire day of show floor and nothing else.
Well, I did want to bring up, because one thing we didn't do, you weren't on the podcast last week, Sam. So I'm curious, what were your thoughts on the Switch 2?
Well, so I mean, we have now been updated with some more information,
more info. Let's just talk about just in general your thoughts about the Switch 2, and then we'll go into the rest of the info as it kind of picks up. Like, what did you think of Nintendo's presentation?
I mean, I kind of stand in the camp of that. There's not much at launch. What's there is kind of cool. Mario Kart World looks like the sickest Mario Kart's ever been.
So sick, baby!
Yeah, and we did get confirmation that in fact it does at least have 2-player split screen in that open world. So that's nice. And I like the concept in theory of the mouse mode. And hopefully we're going to see that get utilized in more instances than just converting it to, first-person shooter games, or those sort of just Nintendo niche concepts that really don't expand to other games. I mean, we certainly saw some of that with like the like IR blaster in the bottom of the right Joy-Con and the Joy-Con or the Switch 1. So we'll see if that stuff starts to gravitate onto that. But with these sort of demo days that have already popped up, and these sort of press events, we've seen like already that Civ game running, using that mouse and keyboard option technically, but double mouse option, as well as like Metroid Prime running, Metroid Prime 4 running in 120 hertz on that using a mouse like setup. So, I mean, it certainly looks cool. I think it's going to be, as we've learned recently, of the price wasn't affected by tariffs, and are probably going to be adjusted from then. There's conversation today about it's not going to have Hal effect joysticks. And that they haven't directly said, but it seems that there's some improvement that maybe Nintendo has designed these in-house. It's a little weird. It was already to me going to be a hard line to toe going into like a holiday 2025 to try to sell it to people that just, within the last 2 years or something bought a Switch bundle for their family on like a Black Friday. I think they've got a hard line to toe, especially now with these tariffs. Like, $450 was already looking like a pretty hard pill for some people to swallow, and now the concept that this could jump up to like a $600-700 asking price just at the go around, probably going to be hard going forward. But otherwise, I mean, I look forward to Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yeah. I don't want to poo-poo on this, but I just want to correct you. Sam was on last week's episode. We talked.
Were you on there,
this.
Sam?
He was.
Yeah, I was here.
Oh shit! Oh my lord, you're right. You were on it. Oh my gosh.
We were talking at length about how there were more questions about Mario Kart World that were raised than answered. That was like
I was thinking that Zach wasn't on it, and I got everything confused. And okay, all right, yes, you are. Anyways, let's get into this. Actually, we talked about this a little bit a second ago, but the Wednesday was going to be the pre-order day, and now it's been delayed because of the tariffs.
Yeah,
because it's terrific, as they made that joke on Saturday Night Live. But I made this witty little this image here. You're welcome, y'all. But yeah, they're delaying the pre-orders due to the tariffs, and they started with GameSpot, and then that news went out to everybody.
Yeah, it's weird that Nintendo like this was a weird way of Nintendo blasting it out there, because like we're all learning about it from GameSpot and GameStop and it's like
Best Buy.
Like,
yeah.
Nintendo has made a big deal to push out a news app to drop this kind of stuff, and they don't mention it like at all.
Yeah. I think they don't mention it because they had no freaking idea what was going to happen.
You can still push something out to the app.
You could, yeah. I do feel like the app is very, like, all that content is obviously all pre-made.
Pre-baked.
It's pre-baked to go on specific days. So that's probably why they didn't push it. Either way, it could have been a tweet. Either way, it's just Bizarro World. You can no longer pre-order on Wednesday, which kind of sucks because I was really hoping
we can no longer pre-order.
We can and I do remember last week, Sam. I remember you on saying you're still gonna get the Switch too. Okay, see, now it's all coming back to me. But it's all coming back. I think it's the donut. The donut is getting to me. But it's just kind of showing that the current climate that we're in right now is just messy. It is. They don't know. Nintendo doesn't know. Did they launch it early? We don't know. And there's other news that we'll talk about here in a second. But there are a lot of issues with the messaging of this console, and it starts, like you said, JJ. We had to find out through GameSpot, and then everybody else. And Nintendo never put anything out. We had to deal with the pricing, understanding what the pricing was for the games, right? So Mario Kart World is $80 because Nintendo, Bill Trent, Doug Bowser and I think it was Dougie B on this one, said, yeah, hey, listen, we're going to be pricing these games based, on their quality level. They're all going to be different. There's no set thing, blah, blah, blah. I think they're doing Mario Kart World because they want to get people to buy the $500 version of the console because they're saving $30, and because they know that they're going to eventually sell plenty of Mario Kart World, and they may even drop the price of that sucker later, for all we know. So who knows? But
the very Nintendo thing of dropping the price of the first party major
always happens. I think that one, in a weird way, you can kind of understand, like, okay, we're going to be going to $80. That's inevitable. We already know it. There are some games that are already out there that are $79. Everybody thinks that GTA 6 is going to go to $100, and then what does Nintendo do, who just released a game for $70 or $60? Now they have to jump back up to like $100, so they're trying to get ahead of that wave, supposedly. I've heard that commentary before. But the biggest issue is the messaging around this whole thing, specifically to I'm going to share this right now from our friends at the Video Game Chronicle, specifically towards the Switch Edition games, which are $20 more than $10 to $20 more than their Switch versions, for what amounts to you're getting DLC. Like, you're getting, in most cases, you're getting pretty chunky DLC, except for the Zelda games. The Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you're getting like a whole big story DLC, that's equal to lengthwise of the original game. You're getting, for Mario Party Jamboree, you're getting like 3 new modes or something crazy like that. You're a bunch of new mini games. And there's some other games that are getting that content bump, I guess you could say. But it's not being presented that way. It's being presented as almost like the Switch tax to go to the Switch 2.
Yeah.
When
I sort of expected the Kirby and Zelda and stuff to be the Switch 1 cart with a voucher code in it.
See, I didn't expect it.
The Metroid Prime one is the one that surprised me. Like there really should just be 2 different SKUs, like you did with Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild and stuff, where it's like there's the Switch version. I realize that like format wise, like one's a disc version, one's a Switch version kind of thing, but like at the same time, like the Metroid Prime and the Pokemon one, these games that aren't pre-existing games. I just assumed those were going to be Switch 2 games and Switch 1 games, and you just with the one that you got is the one that you got. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be the same thing where it's a Switch 1 cart in the box.
Yeah,
DLC.
It's the stack of Switch 1 carts they have sitting in Seattle. Yeah.
But what's because the thing about the Switch 2 carts was the faster read speed. So I don't know what the hell you do with that.
Apparently even regular Switch carts read faster on the Switch 2, but definitely going to a Switch 2 cart is better overall.
Yeah.
Right? So It's
I
kind of.
Guess I just get the digital version, so I just bypass all that.
I kind of think about it. I kind of think, or buy the Switch 1 version, which you could probably get on sale, and then just spend that extra $20. For whatever. And to be honest, that's going to be the cheaper way to do it. Is just buy that Switch 1 version of Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Do it now.
Do it now if you're intending on upgrading later, because you're just paying $20 for those extra things, and that's not a bad idea at that point,
I think by the time that some of this stuff comes out, it will make more sense. Like they almost tested this a little bit with the Mario 3D World and the Bowser's Super Story, or what was it, Bowser's something story?
Yeah.
And I think that did a good job of being like, hey, we're not selling this other Bowser game separately. You're buying this other game, and it's coming as DLC, but it is its own standalone game, right? And I think that's inevitably what something like the Kirby game looks like when that comes out in that Switch 2 version, right? It will just say Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, such and such, and then have that giant Switch 2 logo that's 2 inches thicker of red for some reason on the box art. And the normal person that opens that up, it's going to probably say on it, internet connection required, because it will be, if you're downloading then what is the Switch 2 content as a large DLC chunk. I think the bigger thing that their messaging is going to be weird on that is you're going to have a lot of people that are excited that their new console doesn't have, or has 256 gigs or whatever they were pitching as 18 times more the amount of built-in data. But now when they're updating all their Switch 1 games, they've now filled that entire data because that data has to be on the console.
Bunch of 4K assets being downloaded to your Switch 2.
Well, and that's the other thing, is we don't know how big something like Mario Kart Worlds ends up being. I don't. We would hope it would only end up being 40 gigs or something like that. But what if Mario Kart Worlds drops and it's 120 gigs? Sick. Now you filled up half of that Switch 2 of yours.
They've released those.
I was gonna say. I was just looking for the.
Have they? Oh,
yeah.
The
Mario
game
Kart
sizes.
World is 23.4 gigs.
Oh. Well, look at that.
And Bonanza is 10.
10 for Bonanza, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, and the GameCube app is 3.5.
That GameCube app, and I think we joked about it, that GameCube app is gonna get big. That's just 3 games at a gig each. So imagine when that sucker hits 15, 20, 30, 40 games. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. But
also that's just the raw data for the there's gonna be DLC and stuff, and it's just gonna
absolutely
So who knows?
And patches and updates. But no, I
like I said, I know how big Hitman is on my PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I what's that going to be on the Switch too?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not worried about getting a start with 256 gigs isn't bad for me. I can my current Switch has 400 gig extra card in there, so I'll get a 256 at a cheaper price right now for the micro, whatever the X.
It's funny that the Nintendo branded ones are the cheapest ones of those right now. Because if you get like a non-Nintendo branded one of those X cards, it's like a 1 terabyte. It's almost $300 kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Or $200, almost $200. Either way, it's still a chunk of change. But this is just a bizarre decision for me. If this holds true, which I don't doubt it won't. But
the thing with Nintendo is you never know until it's on the shelf.
I mean, it's just this messaging issue that they're having, and I joke about it, but I've been kind of poking at an article here that I'm working on. Just really bad messaging. A lot of this stuff, you could sell this as a Switch 2 box. Like, you don't need to have Nintendo Switch Edition on this box. Like, I think if I saw the Metroid Prime, there's like somebody posted the comparison of the two cases, right? You could still keep a Metroid Prime Switch case, but the original Switch, but then have a sticker on there or a thing in the corner that says
upgradable to Switch 2 edition.
Upgradable to Switch 2, code included. Like,
that's
whatever.
Because that's what they were doing with the PS5 and like when the stuff was first coming out. It like made it clear that like on the case that like it's the PlayStation 4 version, and it does come with a PS5 upgrade when that version launches. Sometimes it was paid, sometimes it wasn't. Most of the time it wasn't. But
and I think, if you sold them next to each other, people would. I know Nintendo doesn't want folks to get confused, but
when it's the same game, it doesn't.
It's
matter.
It's the same game. People will pay that extra. Like they'll pay that extra bump. But again, even at the same time, just give a separate cart and put that stuff on there already, right? We don't know. I think what's happening with Metroid Prime 4 is I don't think it's going to be later in the year. I think it's going to be fairly early in release. And that's why you're seeing this sort of take place. Otherwise, they could do that second cart. I mean, they have a billion of those carts. They're the red carts. They're already making them for Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World. So it's not like they can't make them for these editions. But I think those might come later on. Either way, I think Metroid Prime 4 will launch sooner rather than later. But it's just been really, really poor messaging. Just the pricing, like I said, the pricing of this. You could market it differently.
Metroid Prime 4 has been a clusterfuck for him since day one. It's just kind of just another stake in the fire, Just
another issue has been. I'm going to share this one right now. We talked about the delays. We talked about the other stuff. As I'm looking around for all the issues, the tutorial game is going to be $10. That's been confirmed now, which is just like, okay, why?
I hate that I know I'm gonna end up buying it, even though I shouldn't. But I know me too well.
Oh, wait, we bought 1-2 Switch. Like I
did not buy 1-2 Switch. I
remember I have a child in my house, so we bought it because we thought we wanted to get something new, mostly because we needed some type of social game for all of us. It was either Zelda and Snipper Clips. Like that's all there was. For the people forget, the Switch didn't launch with a lot of stuff. Zelda, Snipper Clips, and 1-2 Switch, and that was it. And I bought all three because I wanted games. I think Mario Kart came out like half a month later, a few weeks later, or something. The Switch launch was, by all intents and purposes, very dry. Like there was not a big amount of stuff. The Switch 2 launch, you get to carry all your old games over, so there's a bajillion games already available for it. So, but. That's why I got 1-2 Switch, and it was fine for preteens. So I'm not worried about it there. Definitely not. Like Welcome Tour should have been built in. We were having some great conversations in the Discord about Welcome Tour. I think Stefan in the Discord brought it up and said, they should do something kind of fun. And we thought, Welcome Tour would be great if it was built in, and every time you bought a Nintendo game or something, that would be your place to find the their concept art. So you can always check out the concept art. You don't have to have if you bought a physical copy of the game, you don't have to have that in there. You can just hop into the welcome tour and look up the history of some of the games, and stuff would be added all along. It just feels, I mean, there's some cool aspects to it. It's been previewing surprisingly really well by folks with their hands on from like the media, which I'm like surprised about, but
I think it's definitely one of those things where it's got to be hard to not think that this is a free game when you're being shown it. Like, usually the critics and the guys that work at these websites kind of understand that, yes, we're not paying for it, but this is still a product. I think it's hard to visualize Welcome Home as a product.
It's difficult, definitely difficult, especially considering the Wii launched with Wii Sports packed in,
and it was Wii Play in Japan.
We Play in Japan, and the Wii U launched with Nintendo Land here in the U.S. I don't know if it launched with that in Japan or not.
I don't think it launched with anything in box. I think
right. But and the Switch didn't launch with anything in the U.S., but that's understandable because Zelda. People are gonna buy Zelda. You can't really.
I'm looking at the official American launch title list, and boy howdy, 1-2 Switch, 1-2 Switch, Just Dance 2017.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Breath of the Wild, Skylanders Imaginators.
Oh wow, yeah, that was launched.
System seller.
Super Bomberman R.
Oh, that's right, and wasn't Puyo Puyo in there as well?
Yeah, that's something I think. I Am Setsuna, if you remember that one.
Wow, okay.
Snipper Clips.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight and its DLC, and Fast RMX, which was that
Wipeout. The fast racing Neo.
And that's launching for Switch too.
There's a new version of that game on the Switch too.
Very light. Like there's it was Zelda and that's it.
Oh, and the Japanese launch was even less. It was just like Disgaea, I Am Setsuna, Nobunaga's Ambition, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Snipper Clips, and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. Like Zelda wasn't even in the Japanese launch of the Switch 2.
It's just nuts. And it's been a Nintendo's messaging has not been super great. And they really need to, they need an FAQ out there to just be like, hey, here's all the information. This is it. Here's all of it. Here's what everything costs. Here's why we're calling it this because of this. You're buying the game with DLC. That's why you're paying $80.
Use your fucking app.
Use your again.
Push some shit to your app.
I have to think like I've been listening to some of the they had, was it Nate Bildorf somebody interviewed him, because there have been a bunch of interviews that went live today. Nintendo has like a week, like 2 weeks of content.
Yeah.
They had planned out for last week, like the hands-on stuff. The beginning of this week is the interviews, and I think there's some more things that are going to be later this week. That's just what I was reading from a couple journals and stuff. But I think Nintendo Life interviewed Nate Bildorf, and they kept asking him, they're like, because that's where the no Hall effect thing came into play. But then they asked him a bunch of other questions. He's like, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't in the room. I don't know. Which, again, I feel bad for Nintendo of America, because they're just the American PR wing.
Yeah, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Nintendo of America takes a brunt of a lot of stuff, and they have to sort of apologize for a lot of things that they have no. Yeah, it's like, we didn't make these decisions. Like, it's like we don't get we've 2 games have ever been published in house.
Yeah. You talk to anybody who works at Nintendo of America or their kind of associated groups over there, and they're just like, we love it, but we have to do things a very specific way. Yeah. So, but I don't blame them. But at the same time, I really do wish there was a bigger coordinated effort for all intents and purposes. Weirdly, this feels like we have very short memories in anything. The PS5 didn't launch with a very smart like people didn't know you had to pay for upgrades, and then they said, oh, you have to pay $10 to upgrade your PS5 games. People didn't realize that until later, until closer to launch, and that was an issue. The Xbox One, obviously, when that first was announced, Microsoft in like a 1 month span completely changed what the Xbox One was. So, and then you have issues here where people thought that there were going to be $80 and $90 physical games, and I'm like, no, that they never said 90, but because somebody out there on a stream said it somewhere or in a tweet, it just spread like wildfire, and Nintendo couldn't put that fire out because their messaging just couldn't, it wasn't clear and concise. So this thing's gonna still sell every freaking console they put out. Everybody's pretty confident in that, especially with like Mario Kart, which I can't wait. All the stuff with Bonanza looks great. I mean, I'm getting it for. I really want to play Metroid Prime 4 because it does look actually pretty cool. So there's plenty of things that are coming. So yeah, I don't know. And obviously we know that there's stuff coming next year, and there's a whole bunch of things that they haven't necessarily even talked about. We're still expecting more directs and all the other fun stuff to happen. So who knows what'll take place? But
I cannot wait for the teaser for Zelda, like what the Switch 2 Zelda is.
The actual
that's gonna
Switch
be
2
so
Zelda,
that's gonna be that the internet doesn't know what it's gonna do with itself. Same with Animal Crossing.
Yeah. When you start seeing those things pop in, like even just because remember Animal Crossing was just Tom Nook like in an office, and it's like, oh hey, blah, 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 by the way, Animal Crossing is coming. That's all they needed. Like people went nuts. So Nintendo definitely does their things to specific plan. I think they're watching. Obviously, they're watching that. The Treehouse stream, the chat was brutal on that Thursday and Friday, actually, both days, because it just started with drop the prices, like literally drop the price. That's all. People were spamming that nonstop.
Like even the AI couldn't. That does the chat.
Even the AI couldn't keep up because people kept changing what they were saying. Yeah. And then in the middle of that, you had the tariff thing drop in with the delay, and the 1 day later, the delay in the freaking pre-orders.
And again, like this is like, this is Nintendo of America having to be like, man, we don't know either, guys.
Yep. And it feels like bad timing.
There's no way. There was no way Nintendo could have known. Like everything is so deliberately placed with Nintendo on every stupid thing that they do. There was no way. It's like we're committed to this now. Like they could see the train coming towards them, and they were on the overpass. There was it's jump into the water or let it hit you. Yeah. So
they're they've. The rumors were they had supposedly been shipping a bunch of these consoles to the US for a while now. So there is some stock available. I'm very curious what the pre-order situation is going to be.
I would be surprised if pre-orders are limited to their little lottery thing that they.
I was almost going to say that may be the start of it. Like I would see them. So Sam, did you sign up for the lottery thing? I know you were talking about it. I don't know if you ended up. You did? Okay. It's right. Sam's on his phone, so he's trying to manage all this, having all kinds of issues. But I can see the first batch of things go to the lottery, and then that'll give Nintendo a sense of how many. Obviously, they know it's going to be popular, but it'll give them a sense of how many things they could pre-order. But then I do think they start opening up the pre-orders to the retailers. I actually think they're likely going to be doing pre-orders in waves instead of just opening it up on 1 day for everybody. They will likely do things in waves because they don't know what's happening with the tariffs now. They don't know. They don't know any of that stuff is happening. So if you put everything in all, if they put everything in all at once and something changes later and then they have to react and they're like, oh crap, 50%
last
of the
thing
people
Nintendo will want to do is revoke people's pre-orders
or delay the pre-orders.
It's Nintendo. It's already, especially right now, it's like the bad press is bad enough as it is with how this is all shaking out, and to like so that's like we have to baby steps this now in North America, United States. I want to say North America, but it's not Canada and Mexico don't get affected.
Really. Right.
So, United States.
So it's gonna still. We haven't had any updates on the potential pre-order date. I don't know when it'll be. I'm hoping it's
probably.
I don't think it's gonna be too long. I don't think.
I was thinking next week, but probably maybe 2 weeks to really feel out the
tariffs and everything. Yeah.
Post
Probably
Easter.
It may be. I don't think it's that late. I don't know if it's that late, but it could be
2 weeks, man. That's not
2 weeks. Yeah, you're right. It could be the next 2 weeks. Like I said, this isn't going to go into May. If it's post Easter, it's like it's like Tuesday,
it's like that Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday. They're still planning on having a Mario Kart 8 Direct on the 14th or the 17th? The 17th, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the date that everything starts the pre-orders are right around that day. To be honest, I think it's 17th, which is right before Good Friday, right? It's a day. It's Good Thursday. So I'm thinking like that day, but I could see them kind of pushing it out to the beginning of the following week. So Switch 2 madness, and there's more stuff I'm sure coming. Probably by the time we hang up this episode, there'll be something, and there actually is, because Luigi's Mansion music just dropped. More Luigi's Mansion music just dropped on the Nintendo eShop for the OSD. There you go. I'm sorry, the Music app. Yeah. So there is one other little bit of news that I want to cover, and that is, I have to share it. That would help. And that's
the Young Bucks are back. That's
the Young Bucks are back. Death Stranding movie lands a director. It's the Quiet Place Day One director. I liked that movie for what it was. It was a different style of like Quiet Place film, different style of horror film. So I'm very curious what he does with this. But this game is a movie already, right?
I mean, yeah, but also like it's one of those things where the gameplay that's there is what's telling the story just as much as the visuals that are going on, just like with every Kojima game. When you strip the gameplay out, you can watch Metal Gear Solid, but you don't really fully understand Metal Gear Solid. And it's the same thing with this. Like when you strip that gameplay element out of it, you have the most incoherent nonsense.
Sure.
It's like, I love Death Stranding. I genuinely love Death Stranding. This seems ill-advised. I don't even know what, like, conceptually the idea of like the whole like post-apocalyptic, the president's dead, you have to reconnect America kind of thing. It's like the
president's always dead. Yeah,
conceptually, President Wonder Woman is dead, and you have to
Sam is dead too, apparently. He's
President Sam Hardman, whatever. I'm not sold conceptually on this, and I never saw Day One. It's Pig, which was his movie before Day One, which is the Nicolas Cage pig.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
farmer movie where he's looking to find his pig and stuff. That's a great movie, but it's on the backbone of Nicolas Cage, and it's not really on the backbone of the director.
Hey, if Nicolas Cage is in this, then we have a different story.
Listen, Kojima would move mountains to get Nicolas Cage in one of the projects.
That's true.
It's like how involved Kojima would be in this.
That's what I was going to ask. How involved is he going to be?
Yeah, because like if this is just a Hollywood adaptation of one of his properties, I give even less of a shit about it. If Kojima's actually physically involved in it, in like any sort of meaningful way, other than just like checking off, like it's good, whatever. But so it's like I don't know, but he's tied up with his own stuff. He's got this game's about to, this game's about to launch, so this is off his table soon. But he's still got 2 other video games he's working on, and the movie thing. Like, it's always something, man. It's.
I've got. Let's move on real quick. So I want to get into some of the games. Here's some more news. Oblivion could be released tomorrow. It's claimed. So this is from Insider Gaming, and I want to stress, insiders, like anytime you run across like insider based stuff, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like you absolutely do, because it's difficult to trust. Because if you miss once, if you airball one time, or if you come close to the rim but not close enough, your reputation is ruined. Okay, for a long time, it's hard to build that back. Insider Gaming posted the Oblivion remake could be released tomorrow. It's claimed. All right.
Yeah, that could be a lot of heavy lifting.
That's a lot of heavy lifting. Like you could say rumor. Here's information, but no, there's no rumor tag to this. There's a lot of the stuff that we typically see in accurate writing isn't in this, just in the title. So they posted down here. Hey, this is there's Sam again. We're gonna add Sam back in there. Hey, Sam. They posted. Hey, check it out. Here's the original covered. It's been claimed by an insider. Okay, one insider that the game's going to release tomorrow. Let's post it. Go ahead and post it. This is cool. This is all new claim. Let's post it because an insider is claiming it. And they have their, they have all the stuff here. Here's that insider. Blah blah. And so, okay, well, that was today. Would be there tomorrow, and they've replied back with, okay, Jeff Grubb. This is 4/7. Jeff Grubb has addressed the claim. Says it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. It's very likely going to drop pretty soon. This is after Insider Gaming put their weight behind. It really felt like they're saying this is going to launch tomorrow. We want to be the first one to push up there. Update. These are actually really funny updates. Let me go here. This was last week. Yes, sorry. Update 4.4. It wasn't released, but read on to find out how it still might be. It still hasn't been released, but an update has been made to Oblivion's Game of the Year edition on Steam. Okay, wait. The insider made the original claim has owned an initial time slip, claiming multiple sources have now corroborated the week of the 21st. And it's like Jeff Grubb was like, yeah, I mean, it could happen. Like Jeff's usually into, and Jeff addressed it, but he's not saying it's definite, But you go from saying this is going to be released tomorrow, it's claimed, to it could happen. Well, it's like this should have been all this information should have been posted, written in the article well before you posted this.
You can't play this long ball game with dates.
Yeah,
you can talk about the fact that like this game is happening. Like there's it's happening and it's happening soon. That's about
at least that.
But to go with specific, like not just dates, but specific dates and stuff.
And then point fingers and say, you can't do that. It's very, again, it very much hurts the reputation and credibility of an outlet when that happens. Like
Let's say it's like the professional wrestling thing. Like you get the insiders a lot, but like also the boys kind of want to fuck with some people sometimes. So.
Yeah, for sure. We had SideQuesting way back when had a PS3 rumor. I ended up running with it because it was corroborated, but it was corroborated. It was given to me by a source that said streaming TV is coming to the PS3, and they thought it was Google TV. Like there would be a Google TV attachment or something where you could plug out from the PS3 and get Google TV onto your TV. It ended up being like Netflix and all that kind of stuff. Again, this is all before like Netflix streaming became a real thing. So, but it led to something. We never posted a date or anything. We said this is just something they're working on, getting some type of Google or streaming TV onto this. Anytime there's it's happening tomorrow, it spreads everywhere. And I guarantee you, Microsoft is not happy with with these folks posting it.
Do you remember the IGN Megaton announcement?
Which one is that? I'm
remember
sure
that
I
whole thing?
do. I'm sure
That
I
was
do.
the phrase Megaton comes from this particular announcement that IGN did,
Okay.
and it was back when the GameCube was coming out, and IGN was teasing that they're gonna have there's a Megaton announcement coming, and you know, the gears turn. Like, what could the Megaton announcement be? When you're talking about video games, it's usually like what kind of video game developers working with it, or you know, Zelda or something. It was that the chipset was in official production for the
Megaton.
Yeah, that was their Megaton announcement.
Yeah,
that like the GameCube is now officially in production because the chipsets are ready to go. And it was just like they never recovered from that, really.
No,
I mean,
it's
since then,
so
IGN
long.
always has the taint of yellow journalism within the community, to the point where the phrase Megaton became like a
I remember that.
a meme in the franchise, in the industry, that still goes on to this day.
Yeah,
So,
it's very difficult to get that out of your
once you get that taint on you just a little bit, there's no
you gotta wash your taint, man.
Gotta wash your taint. There's no borax, not enough borax in the world to scrub your taint.
Here's one last little bit of news, and I thought this was an interesting one. So the game that the remake, the Final Fantasy remake that we all want, is Final Fantasy IX, and Square Enix has been slowly teasing something. Like, there was initially this rumor from like 3 years ago that Final Fantasy IX, a remake, was in the works. Then there was going to be the TV series on like Disney Plus or whatever, along with Kingdom Hearts and a bunch of other things. That was all being worked on. Oh, great, cool. There's a Final Fantasy IX. That means we're definitely getting a Final Fantasy IX remake. I think they were talking about a Final Fantasy IX remake, and then they got a Final Fantasy VIII remaster, right? That's when that came out. And then the Final Fantasy IX remaster came out. Well, Square Enix launched a Final Fantasy IX, was it a 25th anniversary or 25th anniversary website recently.
Yes, 9 was 2000.
2000, exactly. So they launched that website to go over the history of the game. There have obviously been a bunch of the rumors, and now they posted this fun little message. My memories will be part of the sky, which is directly from Final Fantasy IX.
Easy, baby. The best character. Yes. I don't care.
With the note, if you know, you know, which we know. Yeah, again, one of our favorite characters, and a little crying emoji. I hope it doesn't mean that, hey, sorry, it's not happening. But this is enough of a to the point where the Bravely Default remake or remaster last week had a very Final Fantasy IX tease at the very beginning when you see one of the characters spinning around. We're like, oh my god, they're doing Final Fantasy. Oh wait, that's Bravely Default. They're doing Bravely Default. But it took, they kind of had us for going for a couple seconds there. So, do you guys think Final Fantasy IX is being remade at any time soon, or do they have enough staff to remake all these things, knowing there's a bunch of other stuff coming?
I don't think anything's ever off the table with Square Enix in particular. I would prefer something like, if they're going to remake Final Fantasy IX, I kind of would prefer different kind of. I don't want like a Final Fantasy VII style remaster. I don't think that game benefits from sort of a hyper realistic thing. Half the charm of that game is sort of its
goofiness and
its goofiness and its sort of childish soul that it has. It feels like it. I like it. The dream is the HD 2D style, like make Final Fantasy IX in an HD 2D, which I think would benefit it. I think a new Final Fantasy IX project. I don't know what that is, but but like Final Fantasy IX doesn't need the big Final Fantasy VII treatment. And you can't really do a remaster thing because you've already done the remaster thing. Even though it's the shitty iOS version that has like the bad UI and like text and everything, like the fonts choices and stuff. But Final Fantasy IX is my absolute favorite.
It's so good. It's
of the 3D ones.
I guess I didn't know that Final Fantasy IX was beloved. I'd always thought the historians of Final Fantasy loved 7 and loved 10, And like some of them tolerated 8, but we had pretty much just gapped in between there.
It went up and down for a while. It really did.
9 was always sort of I don't know what to because 9 came out literally a year after 8. Like it went Final Fantasy 8 came out in 99, Final Fantasy 9 came out in 2000, and Final Fantasy 7 was
9 also the last one on PS1, and then 10 started the PS2 era ones.
Yeah. So by the time 9 came out, it was already like the PS2 was on the verge of coming out. There's been a deluge of Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation 1, because I think by that point you had 7 and 8 that had just been out within the last couple of years. You had Tactics, and you had all of the remake re-release things, like, you know, the Chronicles and anthologies and stuff. Like, there was a lot of Final Fantasy on the PlayStation 1. So when Final Fantasy 8 came out, and Final Fantasy 8 was also the first like third of the game is very silly. It's much more harkens back to the SNES days of like beginning storyline kind of stuff. But you know, by the time the game gets to its last legs, just like every of these Final Fantasies, they've turned, it's turned around. Things are a little more serious, but it's seen as a little more lighthearted adventure than the others. So 9 has just kind of grown over the years, because it was also a lot of people's first 3D Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy in general, since, you know, it is a 2000 game. So there's a lot of like people that are, you know, the 25-year-olds, that they were 10 years old when they got their PlayStation. You know, there's kind of crazy stuff like that. You know, so yeah, 9's kind of creeped up the ranks over the years. It's never going to be number 1, but yeah,
right,
it's definitely it's like number 1's always 6 and 7 duking it out, and then everything else is just fighting for third. So when the real best one of all time is Tactics Advance.
Is 6, exactly.
Actually, 6 is the only 6 is I have the SNES version, Final Fantasy 3, and I have a boxed copy of Final Fantasy 6 for the Super Famicom. Like it's one of my favorite RPGs. Like that and Chrono Trigger are like my favorite RPGs of all time, kind of thing.
Nice. Let's move on to games that we've been playing. Sam, let's talk about a game that you've been playing.
Yes.
Is this early access?
Yes, I believe it released into early access last Friday or Thursday. Not sure which. Just missed it last week when we were trying to cover things. But yeah, Wildkeepers Rising is kind of a I don't know. Have we come up with a term for what the Vampire Survivors likes? Genre is
garlic-like,
garlic-like. People have been leaning towards. So.
Sure. So it's one of those, survival isometric games.
Something. You know how people are starting to call Souls-likes roll slop now. We need to figure something out like that. We need a bullet slop or something.
Yeah. But essentially, it's along the lines of those games, Vampire Survivors-esque. But this one has a sort of extra dynamic to it that you're sort of capturing and using these creatures alongside of you in battle. So essentially, you go through different missions and you'll be able to get these creatures and then be able to sort of go into other missions and take these creatures with you or recover creatures within there and sort of build out teams. So they sort of become your weapons that then you can stack sort of elements and other abilities on top of them. So like, let's say you get an item that would make your auto attack percentage go up 50% or something like that. You could choose to add that to your character, or you can add it to one of the monsters or creatures that are with you in the battles. So you can kind of change people's loadouts. Each creature also has, whether you want to call it an ultimate or a special ability, that gains over time as they're sort of doing damage and killing other monsters. And then you can choose when to trigger those. And some of them are defensive ones that'll give you shields. Some of them kind of clear out areas. It's all just kind of depends on what sort of creatures and what you're currently stacking with you. And yeah, it's in early access. As we mentioned, it just came out on Steam last week sometime, and it's got a pretty strong foundation to start with. My only real complaint now is that it's not like, I guess, capturing the creatures isn't as much as it is capturing as it's sort of show up to the location on the map, and it's, hey, today we're discovering X creature, and you play the mission, and it's just stand here after 5 minutes, and then we unlock X creature, and then we can take him into battles. So it's kind of not really like not monster hunting, not monster capturing, I guess. It's kind of just using them more as sort of custom weapons than it is using them as like creature farming, if that makes sense. Like if
Yeah.
you're more of a Pokemon fan, like this isn't the sort of like I'm capturing somebody and raising them and making them stronger and building teams that way. It's more of okay, now I have access to this creature so I can use them in this next battle. Or I now have them in the availability that they'll show up in the sort of RNG locations to where I can spawn a creature in this map specifically. Uh, and it just doesn't feel much like you're capturing creatures, and it just feels like you're sort of capturing weapons. But other than that point, I mean, it is a very strong vampire survivor like game. So far, the missions, it is broken up into a mission. It's not like a vampire survivors or some of these other games where you're like surviving 30 minutes and then you unlock things. It's, go into this location and hold this area for 5 minutes, or clear out this thing and destroy these things and then do a giant boss fight. So it kind of breaks them up into different styles. But I mean, it is just one of these auto survivor games, so you are still just surviving waves and waves of people. So that is like the core tenet. So you are doing that in pretty much every single mission that you're doing. It does have a like pretty cool like hand drawn like art style to it. And I am not fully through all of the early access content that's there, but there's a bunch of different biomes involved, and obviously they will still be building towards. I think the planned release is at the end of this year. But of course, with any early access game, you have to, you know, a buyer's risk of there's always the potential that this early access game could never see the light of day, or its final build could be a week from now. So you always got to take that into consideration.
This looks great. Like visually, it's really
Aesthetically,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like honestly like pretty interesting for these like these sort of roguelike like style games. Like you are unlocking, you're killing a bunch of enemies, going up a level, you're getting these items then you can spread to everything. And so far, like the leveling outside of that is just sort of, oh, you're making your character stronger, so his base percentages and certain stats go up. And I've only seen two different characters so far in my playing. You're kind of seeing them in this trailer. One of them is like a sort of melee character that auto attacks when characters get close. And then there's a ranged character that's attacking basically the closest character to that character when they go to auto attack. So some of that stuff is probably going to expand, and there'll be more of it moving forward. But yeah, something to keep an eye on. And you'll probably hear more as we get down the early access pipeline with it and closer to its actual release.
Very cool. What's it called? Wildkeepers Rising?
Yes, Wildkeepers Rising. I believe, as I'm looking at the quote reveal trailer right here, it has the subtitle of Echoes of the Guardians, but I don't know.
Does it say that anywhere in the file name?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I think if you, I believe Steam, if you just search Wildkeepers Rising, you're likely to find it.
Excellent. JJ, you've been playing
playing
a new game too. Is it a VR game that you've been playing, my friend?
Oh, it's more than just VR, my friend. It is VR and AR. VR is back, baby, and it's brought a friend with it. AR.
Are you kidding me? No.
I've been playing Mythic Realms on the Quest 3. It's an RPG kind of adjacent fantasy game where you just do the typical fantasy game trope stuff, but like in your house. It's kind of neat. I don't think there's not necessarily a lot of meat on the bones. It has a lot you can do. There's combat, there's crafting, there's like what's the word is escaping me right now, foraging, I guess, you're getting resource grinding and stuff. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, you want your axe, sword, or magic staff, and you take some quests, you chop down a tree, you grind for some ore, you fight bosses, and it's all like takes place within your like it's like you get sort of this hybrid view of like this foresty like fantasy setting mixed with your living room. It's very, I haven't played a VR game that requires you to move around your own space as much as this one. You really have to walk around. You have to walk around in your room, which is a brutal experience because I'm not exactly the cleanest person in the world when it comes to leaving shit on the floor.
So you're tripping everywhere.
Yeah, you're just kind of tripping everywhere, and you find yourself like bumping into your chair that you just kind of moved off to the side, or like stepping on like it's like a pen that you left on the ground, or kicking a can that just fell off a shelf or something. Like it's just like it's kind of a mess for me. But overall, like the Quest 3 does a really good job at knowing being able to detect your room scale and the hazards that are there, and does a good job at sort of warning you about certain things and seeing certain things. It's the combat's probably my favorite part of it. There's a lot of fun to be had with just these sort of one-on-one battles with whatever your weapon of choice is. Like fishing, you saw it right there. That's fun.
Yeah, it's
fun to do. VR fishing is very fun. But this isn't. It has it's something new. That's always the thing. Like I say it every time I review one of these VR games. It's like I'm looking for something that's like not just the same old thing that you constantly see, because everything's just like shooty game, rhythm game, and that's or walkie game, and that's sort of and they all use the same control scheme. Like that's the biggest problem, is so many of them just feel the same, that when you get something fresh, you take notice of it. And then they do a good job at kind of freshening what the feel of a VR action game is, by having it be room scale, by having the AR stuff, but blending it really well with their in-game fantasy setting aesthetic. Like, it's like, yeah, now there's a tree over by my over by my DK bongos.
But I like it in this video. The dude is like literally sitting on his couch fishing.
Yeah,
it's great.
And you can do that. Like, it's cool. It understands what you're doing. It's neat. It's like it works. It all comes together. It's a really fresh experience when it comes to just sort of the locomotion and what you're doing and how you're interacting with things, because you're not used to moving around as much as you do, unless it's like a rhythm game. But even then, it's stationary movement for the most part. Like, yeah, I'm ducking once in a while on like Beat Saber. Beat Saber has like a 360 mode these days where it's like happening all around you. But again, it's still stationary. So I like it from that aspect. I think it's a neat game. It's definitely one of those. It's not a system seller, but if you have one, look at it, because this is definitely a different type of VR experience. Even though it kind of like, if you see this trailer, it looks very samey of a lot of things that you've kind of seen out there, and it's not. It's cool. The AR stuff is probably where the future of all this stuff is at these days, I would think, because like there hasn't really been a whole lot of brand new VR games. What used to be me getting 4 or 5 emails a week has dwindled down to like maybe one every like 2 weeks about a VR game. So it's the pickings are thin, but every once in a while one rises to the top, grabs my attention, and this was definitely one of them.
And visually, it's not trying to be realistic, which I think
it's trying to feel like like a D&D rule book.
Okay.
You know, that's really what like if like your feeling is inside of it. So yeah, I like it. I like it. It's like, yeah, like really well realized. Like they are accomplishing what they set out to do, which is very important for this kind of thing. Sometimes it's like your concept maybe a little too big for your britches, but like it's a simple concept that they executed really well. So
excellent.
Like, yeah,
cool. Well, I've been playing a game that I think it was Zach first posted about it, and I've been completely addicted to it since. And that game is, I'm not reviewing this. It's just something I'm playing. It's yet another one of those quick fix. You know, we had Dragon Sweeper, we have Balatro, we have everything that's Balanair.
Is this the one?
This is Nubby's number.
I was waiting.
Factory.
I was going to talk about this like 3 weeks ago, but
what is this?
Oh God,
Sam.
Just watch.
No.
You got this. Is Sam? Watch.
I mean, the visuals are so bad.
I already hate it.
It's Peggle, right? It's Peggle.
Okay.
And it's like you have to get the amount over here on the right. You see, it says 12.
I can read. That's 12.
Each of these.
It's number pachinko.
Each of these have different point systems on there. So your goal is to try to get as many as you can to add up to that number here. So you use your mouse, hit the button. 11. 13. Cool. It lit up. You're a worker in the number factory. Yeah. Like that's it. You have to make numbers. So it's 22. Okay. Bam. Okay, I got it. Yeah, 32.
So so I can make over the number. That's fine.
Your goal is to just get as many.
Yeah, so that number just keeps getting higher and higher and higher, and you gotta keep peggling.
And I don't like how this one's set up, so I'm gonna re-roll it. Perfect. There we go. 32. So if I go straight down on this guy,
oh man.
Oh,
simple. But wait, this is the good part. The good part. Then you get into the actual
Nubby part.
The Nubby Mart. You get into the check out the guy's dude. You got glasses in this one.
I hate that part. I'm ignoring that part.
This is a clicker game by way of Cruelty Squad, and it's beautiful.
So you can upgrade. You get 7 slots up here, and your goal is, you want to upgrade things. So in this case, this little guy mutates into the non-upgraded version of the item to the left of me for the rest of the round. So if I put this here, it'll mutate here, whatever that is. I don't have anything there, so that's okay. The finger puppet gives points equal to the number of times that Nubby has bounced around. I like the finger puppet. Very easy one to start with. So we'll do that. I like the finger puppet. So now I just go bam. Okay, I get 43. So there's a 16, an 8, a 32. I can actually go over here and try to get down over this area.
So who's like middle school, like computer lab did this game spawn from? Like they found it on a floppy disk or something.
Right? It feels like it's that kind of thing, but special round.
Oh, sneaky snipers.
And what that'll do is it'll shoot through some of the original ones to get ready. And there's a 128. That should be pretty good. I'll bounce over here. Oh, yeah, I'm up to 200. I didn't make it over this way. But it's pachinko, it's Peggle, it's all the goodness that we've wanted. Oh, didn't make it. Look at that. I'm gonna re-roll this sucker, and that's better. See, now I can get this guy. Nope.
Even worse.
Oh, even worse. I'm gonna go over here. Nope, not again. See, so now I'm not doing so well, but now I got it. All right, cool. And you have I got loot. Look at that, it's a little loot ball. I can either get the gourmet perk, which force triggers the item in slot number 7. I don't have one there. Or force triggers one random item. I guess I'll do that. You get a certain amount of balls to drop when your balls drop. You can run out. Those are your lives. And your goal is to just keep making number go up. There you go. Perfect. That was a nice quick one. Nubby Mart. All right. I'm going to go with this one, which is every peg will give points equal to 15% of their number. Perfect. Bam.
Also, just keep in mind that if you don't meet the quota, the sun explodes.
And you'll see that in just a second because I'm about to miss. And Literally, the
Whatever,
sun will
friend.
explode. Oh,
Yes.
I'm doing pretty well. This is just it's just another one of these dumb games that's just so easy to play, and it's very smart. This little thing on the side here gives you point totals and monetary
You got that
totals.
bagel thing going for it.
Totally,
man.
look at that.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
Look
boom,
at
boom.
that.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Restock, and I gained more life.
Look at all the nubbies you got.
Look
Gosh.
at all the nubbies.
You're
It's
nubby
just so
rich.
stupid. Nubbies number. Oh, it's a Grabatron. So there's a little timeline up here to tell you what's coming up. The Grabatron.
It is a
over here.
roguelike. That's
It
the
really is. Yeah. It definitely is a roguelike. It's designed to look really bad. Let's see what the mystery capsule is. I get a flaming skull, which 10% chance to cause giant explosion. Perfect.
You can get this for like $10 with this game and Luck Be a Landlord, which is a landlord slot machine. Pay your rent with slot machines.
Which is basically real life.
Yeah.
It's basically real life. Oh, Gold Rush. These give me monies. They give me money. Bam, look at that. Bam, 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 bam. So it's just, again, it is Pachinko. Oh, woo, I'm rocking this one.
Or Plinko, they call it.
Plinko, sorry, Plinko. Yeah, Plinko and
even though it's
Peggle
not really
and
Plinko, but yeah.
and everything. Ooh, oh yeah. Nubby Mart time. Get another flaming skull. I'm gonna unlock. I'm gonna unlock a couple things here, and then I'll get another flaming skull. Put that guy right there. It's just so stupid, silly. And yeah, I got it. Nice. Oh, keep going. And this is it. This is just Nubby's number factory.
Yeah, number go up.
Boss round. Head over to see the details. So the peg will disable a random item. So you have to try to stay away from these guys if you can, but don't worry.
But you can't because it's Plinko.
You can't. Yeah. But I've already surpassed this sucker up here. So that's it. Boom. So you pass the bosses. I'm doing really nice with this one. This is good. A 3-timer. Man, it's just so easy, dude. And you get loot. And you get Nubby dies, force triggers, you hit him in slot 7. Again, I don't have a slot 7, so I'm going to do the leftmost item, which is this guy over here. Bam. It's simple. You're going to buy this. I already know it. Oh.
I mean, I might. I don't know.
No, you're going to. You're going to buy it.
Oh.
I'm forcing you to. I'm not doing so well.
Zach convinced me to buy it. I immediately bought it. I put too many hours into it.
Yeah.
This new job has changed, Zach. I don't know if I like this new Zach.
Zach is
getting people addicted to Nubby boy or whatever.
He's
Nubby boy.
He's abandoned Final Fantasy 14 for Nubby.
Yeah, it wasn't Nubby boy. I know it was Nubby boy.
Nubby.
Yeah, another game.
Also vaguely sun related.
Yeah,
true. Oh
and
man, I'm
vaguely
doing
like this too.
I'm doing awesome this one. I'm gonna open up that last slot here.
Oh, look,
let's get the monstrosity.
Go to the cafe.
Oh yeah, let's go to the cafe. Yeah. There it goes. We get you a chip. I don't have enough gold.
You don't like the hyper realistic the mouth gif
moving at 10 frames per second? No, I hate that.
Oh, good. And that's it. That's what this game is, and it's just so stupid and good. And again, just feel free to lose
doing
hours.
so well, so you could see the sun.
Yeah, I know. I'm purposely trying to die, and then it's like I'm getting.
You've got too many good perks.
I'm getting. Oh man, all the perks are lined up like
You're doing too good.
He's watching the curvature of the Earth just work in his favor.
Yeah, right. Who needs the sun when I got see? Okay, there we go.
Oh,
I'm gonna launch this guy away from here. Nope, got it. Dang it.
Still going, still earning points.
I'm just gonna get out of it this way. All right, and I got 2 left. I'll go over off this. Ah, nice. Last shot. Let's go over here because I won't get anything for sure. Oh no, I got it again.
Unbelievable.
Good lord, there he goes. Oh, and I got a free, and I got loot. So it's so stupidly addicting.
Down 29.
Let me go over here again. Oh no! Oh man, get out of here! Get out of here! Stop it!
Hit end.
Like, God, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Just keep earning more drops.
What do I get? The mouse. Yeah.
Eat the chip. Look at the little hot dog pig.
Yeah, the little hot dog
That's
pig.
horrifying.
Eat it. Nom.
Oh, they can eat it? Oh,
yeah.
That.
Got 2 coins.
That's all he does. Nom.
Well, aren't they selling it?
Oh God, get out of here! Oh, I'm doing way too good. I want to show you the sun exploding because it's just beautiful. It is everything you'd remember from a Packard Bell video, a Packard Bell pack-in game.
Is there an end game? Are you going to accidentally speed run this game right here, right now?
Kill screen coming up, everyone. Kill screen.
Use the kill screen coming up.
Like, is round 50 the end? Like, how long does this go?
I don't even know. I'm doing way too well, man.
Cool.
Cool.
We're in. Locked in.
We're locked in. Lock it in.
I'm gonna take screenshots of that. Okay, cool, and like a restock or whatever, and just use it as emotes in our Discord moving forward.
Nope.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Shot. I snuck it out of there. Yeah, I'm out. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is it. That's it. The sun exploded.
Oh my God.
That was it. And that is over. That is Nubby's Number Factory. Just wonderful. Absolutely fantastic game.
Perfect
already game of the year. Game of the year material. By the way, get your cheap viewers on Stream Boo. Oh, good times. Friends, this has been the SideQuesting birthday stream. We are hanging out. We were hanging out. We're done. It's been an hour and a half.
90 whole minutes.
90 whole minutes. I ate my donut here. I'm gonna go relax. I did buy this to celebrate for myself. I got my Kroger had this on sale. Check this out, dudes. This I'll let you guys know right now. Pro tip: when the end days come and you only have Lego sets to survive to barter with, this is a good one because apparently at like our local Kroger, this is on sale for like $22. They had a bunch of them, but the Formula One Speed Champion ones. Yeah. But apparently on eBay, they're going for like $45 to $50, which is just weird. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You can still just order them from Lego's website, can you not?
Yeah. Yes, you can for the cheap price, but apparently people are freaking out about the tariffs. That it's being impossible. So folks are throwing this.
People are doing the trading card thing with Lego because Lego truly has been bulletproof for decades now when it comes to resale value. So
I'm actually going to put this guy together though because I freaking
Speed Champions is my Speed Champions is my favorite like subline of Lego. Like I buy those all the time. Those are my I do some of the bigger sets, but like you can see my Nintendo stuff kind of hanging out over here a little bit, but over here is a lot of cars you can't see.
Yeah. So. The moment they start manufacturing track layouts as like Lego sets, my entire wall will be covered. So
dude, that would be freaking like the Nürburgring, the ring. Could you imagine?
I'm currently we're rearranging our like computer room setup at the house, and I'm like setting up like where my like rig sits for sim racing, and I really want like a map of Spa like next to it somewhere.
Oh,
and
dude, you're gonna get that.
If it was Lego, that would be just the perfect thing.
Oh man,
you could have a Laguna Seca.
Wow. I mean, Formula One doesn't race there, but yeah, I like the alliteration.
Yeah, I tried. Do my best. But there's some cool tracks, friend. Okay, that's it. SideQuesting.com. SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. Hop into the Discord. Do the Patreon thing if you can. Rate, review, yada, yada, yada. YouTube and Twitch and yada, yada. Blue Sky. We're SideQuesting on Blue Sky. You can find me at Dali Demovsky on Blue Sky. You can find JJ at _J at Blue Sky. Sam is
he's
somewhere
there but doesn't post, so it
he's in the Discord. Join us in the Discord.
Catch me on the track and on the Discord.
That's right. And you can catch us at PAX East with the SideQuest, our party on Thursday, May 8th. More details coming up shortly. And we want to thank everybody for 16 phenomenal, wonderful, groundbreaking years of SideQuesting.
Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking. And I'm sure we'll have at least 3 more months.
16 more weeks.
I'm signed up to go to. I got Summer Game Fest emails today.
At least through the summer.
At least
I was going to say
summer.
we'll do one show after PAX East, but then no promises.
Exactly. We'll do that one at PAX East.
We'll get kicked out of the hangout area again.
Yeah, again. Yeah, that's always good. Yeah, that was great.
Hey, we're closing the lounge. Great.
Was that at the Westin that we got kicked out of? I don't
No,
remember.
That was the
Renaissance or something.
It was whatever hotel you guys were staying at.
That's
I don't
right.
know.
Yeah. Some hotel. Then we were at the Hilton, the Four Seasons. Friends, I love you, dudes. Thank you again. Thank you to all the folks who are chiming in, even the spammers. No, thank you to spammers.
Yeah, thank you
again. You know what? One thing I didn't do, and I feel bad about it, but I'm going to do it right now, is go over the Patreon members because a couple of them are watching. I had forgotten to the Patreon members. I want to thank our Patreon members, the executives, Tom Johnson and Punctified. You guys are awesome. Thank you to the producers, Stefan Swanlin, Zero the Prototype, Exogenous, and Jeff Grubb. Thank you for helping keep SideQuesting going. I mentioned the Patreon earlier, but I didn't mention your names. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We will see you on the next episode of The Side Quest. Tom Cruise posts standing.
Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.